So it seems fitting that I'm wearing my classic Universal Monsters shirt, because we're just going to be talking about the trailer for Renfield. This is the reimagining of Dracula from Universal Studios, one of two. Yeah, because for those who don't know, they're also doing the Demeter as well, which will be coming out in August. Isn't that crazy? Like, can we just take that, can we just pump the brakes real quick before we go into the whole video itself? That literally, Universal is doing not one, but two Dracula films in the same year. Not only that, they're literally doing, Dracula, it's like two juxtaposed Dracula. You have like a faux Bela Lugosi kind of story, and at the same time, you have this other, like, dark, bloody, gore, like, this horror film that's coming out later this year. Which I didn't realize that was coming from Andre Overdahl, who had done The Troll Hunter, and he also did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Really good director. I can't wait to see what he does. But Renfield, so let's get into it with Renfield. So Renfield, like I said, is like a reimagining of the classic Dracula film, but it focuses more on Renfield than it does Dracula himself. Renfield, of course, the psycho the man driven crazy by Dracula, and really is more of a bit role. Best known for being played by Dwight Fry, of course, that laughing scene he had. That whole scene in the film. So I think it's really cool. Nicholas Hoult is an actor who I'm like, oh, you're still around. I don't hate the guy. I'm just like, oh, you're still around. Okay. That's how I feel about Nicholas Hoult whenever he shows up in a movie. I'm just like, oh, you're still here. Okay. But let's be real. We're not here for Renfield. We're here for Nick Cage Dracula. And bless Nick Cage's heart, he is... he clearly is loving this. For the quick scene we get of him, I'm like, oh, you really are loving this, Nick, and you're going to be the reason we all go see this movie, aren't you? Be real with yourself. You want to see Nick Cage Dracula. So the movie looks like it's going to focus more around Renfield trying to get away from Dracula and also meeting a new character who he's fallen in love with. This movie has been confirmed as rated R, and while it is a horror comedy, it's always nice. It is nice to get a horror comedy, you know, and I will talk about that. Like, yeah, it is really nice to get a horror comedy again, and also what it looks to be a really gory one too. I don't think we've had a gory, horny. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't think we've really had a lot of gory horror comedy movies in a while, at least on the big screen. A lot of them are like direct to streaming. The last one I would say got a big release, like of this size, that did well was, I don't know, Shaun of the Dead. Maybe I'm just forgetting one. I slept late and also my head hurts. So, anyway. Yeah, I also like that this movie, like, one thing I was not expecting with this film was like, oh, we're gonna have, like, good action set pieces, okay, we're gonna have, like, some legit awesome action set pieces in these films, and I was not expecting that, because it looks like Renfield gets power from Dracula in some capacity, like he's getting like a power boost or some kind, and in exchange he's given like long life for that. The humor in here looks just over the top, but that's kind of, it seems pretty in tow with the amount of action scenes going on as well. So I really do like that. I really do think that's really cool. I really enjoy this whole like, I'm hoping it's good. Like, that's the only, like, every movie I want to go see, I hope it's good. I hope the comedy's fine. The action does look pretty solid so far, and I was actually happy when it got announced that it was going to be R-rated, because I was like, if this was PG-13, I'd have for some reason, like, PG-13 horror comedy is just like, oh, we're just going to do fart jokes, aren't we? Here, it's like, okay, because apparently it's from one of the writers of Rick and Morty, like one of the head writers at Rick and Morty, so I was like, oh, so we're just going to be completely off the wall, aren't we? And, again, I do have to stress, Nick Cage is fucking Dracula, and to the artist, to the makeup effects credit, they do make him look like Bela Lugosi really well. Like, I have to give hats off to the makeup department because they really do make him look like Bela Lugosi. He is clearly trying an act, and bless Cage's heart, he is trying an accent. Like, I can't fault him for that. I'm also, like, really happy that we're getting finally some more Universal Monster stuff, even if it is, like, comedy, but we are getting a horror one later. And I really do hope this, like, opens further with more Universal Monster projects, like how well Invisible Man did, and they did have a lot of stuff planned, but then, you know, that year happened. So a lot of stuff fell through. The Wolfman remake is in development hell. So, yeah. What I'm hoping, however, is that while I'm hoping this movie does well, I'm hoping we don't get, like, a horror comedy for all the monster movies. I'm hoping, like, both do... I'm really hoping that, like... I do hope that Renfield does well. It is coming out in April. Funny enough, like, 2 weeks before Evil Dead. So April's going to be March and April are going to be big... we're ringing in the season of Rebirth with some screams. So, I do like that. I'm hoping the Demeter does well. They moved it from January to August because they had a lot more faith in it. So, I think that's really cool. If you were to ask me which I'm more excited for, I'd go with the Demeter. Mostly because I just want to see a scary Dracula again. Like, a legit scary, like, this is the thing that kept people up at night in the 18th century about. So, I am very curious about that, and hopefully, but like I said, I really am excited for Renfield. Not just because of Nick Cage Dracula, but because, yeah, it's kind of nice to have Universal Monsters back on the big screen again. I know it's going to be a horror comedy, but yeah, Shaun of the Dead was a horror comedy too, and it had some dramatic and actually scary points too. Evil Dead 2 is a horror. I don't think it's going to be like Evil Dead, where it's like has legit scares. It's going to be more like ridiculous, over the top stuff. So that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, hopefully this opens the door for the other monsters to get new films, because when are we getting Creature? I'm just saying, like, I think we're long overdue for a Creature of the Black Lagoon movie. Just saying. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of the trailer for Renfield? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. And are you guys more excited for Renfield or Demeter? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, if you're new here, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe to this video. Helps with the algorithm and all that. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.